As per usual, the chapter got translated earlier than it was supposed to be, so I know that most of you haven't read it, and I'm gonna have it in the description of this video and in the pinned comments. So with that said, go read the chapter, and after you read it, I will see you in my Boruto chapter 23 review. Before I start reviewing the chapter, I want to thank my bro Eric for helping me make this beautiful thumbnail that consists of, colored Boruto panels. I'm gonna have his Instagram in the description of this video. You guys should really follow him because he posts a lot of colored panels of the Boruto manga, and some of his pictures are just fucking beautiful. So yeah, make sure to follow Eric. This chapter, I mean, I don't even know where to start. Honestly, it had so many things inside of it. But let's just start with the first panel, which is, Kashin Koji standing on a toad in front of Team 7, and obviously fighting against Team 7. Now, during this battle, Kashin Koji did an interesting Fuinjutsu, which is sealing jutsu, if you didn't know. And my theory that I made a couple of months ago that, Kara could be connected to the Uzumaki clan, or actually that, some of the members of the Kara are actually Uzumaki clan members, because it was stated by Kushina that, when the Uzumaki clan was attacked, many people escaped. We have some examples such as Nagato, Karin, but anyway, my theory is getting more and more realistic about, Kashin Koji being related to the Uzumaki clan. Anyway, he does this jutsu, right? And everybody was paralyzed. Obviously, before the actual fight, Konohamaru tried to talk to Kashin Koji. He asked him about the Kara. Obviously, Kashin Koji didn't say anything. I don't know if Konohamaru really expected Kashin Koji to say anything. I mean, even Ao didn't want to say anything. And speaking of Ao, I was really hoping that we were going to get, his backstory in this chapter as to why he joined the Kara and all that. But I guess we're going to get it later on during the series, because we're definitely going to get some type of backstory. There's just no way that they just introduced Ao. First of all, he's alive somehow. Second of all, he's in the Kara. Like, we need to get some info on his past, right? More specifically, the period after the 4th Great Ninja War. Like, what happened to this dude? Anyway, going back to Kashin Koji and, and the sealing jutsu, I just wanted to make that comment, to say that I think he might be one of the Uzumaki clan members. Now, I want to mention a couple of more things. So, obviously, this is the big one. Kashin Koji did the Rasengan, and it was confirmed that it wasn't, he actually made it. He didn't use scientific ninja tech. And, it's like, I can't believe. At this point, I can't believe. I'm still 100% sure that he's not Jiraiya. But, at this point, we have the face paint, the white hair, the toad summoning, the Rasengan, it's fucking crazy, okay? It's crazy. The writers are trolling us so hard, but there's just no way that this is Jiraiya. I'm telling you, Kashin Koji, if something's for sure, that's the fact that he's connected to Uzumaki clan. Quote me on this one. Anyway, it's just the entire fight. Like, Konohamaru rushed in towards Kashin Koji, and he literally pushed him, and I even think he stepped on his head, and then he jumped, and then, Konohamaru did the Rasengan, and Kashin Koji did the Rasengan. And at one point, this is how it got translated in the chapter that I read, but at one point, Kashin Koji tells Konohamaru, you're formidable, something like that. He gives him a compliment, but then he's like, you need to work more, or something like that, progress more. Doesn't really matter, you get the point. And it almost feels as if Kashin Koji is looking at his son, student, or something like that, because usually when you train with your son, with your little bro, you're like, you're great, but you need to improve. When you talk to somebody that's younger than you, but to somebody that you have a relationship with, I'm not saying anything, I'm not saying that, Kashin Koji, Konohamaru are related, obviously, I'm not saying that. It's just, it feels as if they're close, which obviously they're not. It's just crazy. Kashin Koji, I mean, this dude, oh my god, so many mysteries regarding his character. He's very, very interesting, I must say. And anyway, going back to the Fuinjutsu that he did, I can't remember the exact translation, but in like the jutsu, the name of the jutsu, it had like a frog, like the word frog in it. And as everybody got paralyzed or some shit like that, apparently a frog went there. I mean, a toad. Later on, that toad exploded or gave off some fire or something like that. I'm not really sure. But anyway, it's a really, really strange combination. At first, because the raw version, like the Korean version of the chapter, got out many hours ago, like before the English release. And when I was looking at the chapter, I was just skimming through all the panels, and I thought it was some Earth style jutsu because you clearly saw something going on with Earth, right? But it was actually a Fuinjutsu. And the point is, this man, Kashin Koji, managed to paralyze Boruto, Konohamaru, Sarada, Mitsuki, and Katasuki. That's crazy. That's overpowered. Obviously, I guess they could move a little bit, because obviously Konohamaru did move, and he did something with his... Like, yeah, I want to comment on that. What the fuck was that? Can somebody please explain? Like, I get it. He had something on his stomach which can help him, escape from Fuinjutsu. But I'm not gonna lie, it felt like plot armor. I'm not gonna lie, because why would you have something against Fuinjutsu? I mean, obviously Fuinjutsu, there's a lot of emphasis put on sealing jutsu in Boruto as a series. Not only the manga, the anime as well. I mean, even the Byakuya Gang arc had some references to sealing jutsu. The thing with Gekko and Ryogi and all that. But to have that on your stomach, that was kind of strange. But doesn't matter. I mean, speaking of plot armor, do you guys remember how Sasuke survived Deidara's attack? I will never forgive Kishimoto for killing off Deidara in such a way. It should have... Okay, I'm not gonna go there. I just fucking love Deidara, and I thought that, Sasuke should have died back then. Anyway, going back to this. He releases the Fuinjutsu and all that. And it's like... And then we have the whole thing with the Rasengans, right? And then all of a sudden you see a toad on Konohamaru, and I guess fire comes out of it. And this is one thing that I didn't really understand, because obviously this is in a manga format. But were those flames the true flames of Samadhi? I think it's pronounced Samadhi. I'm not 100% sure. Samadhi truth flames. Doesn't really matter. Kashin Koji is equivalent of Materasu. You get the point. Were those flames already those deadly flames or whatever? Because after that, I'm looking at the page right now. After that, like, Konohamaru starts burning, basically. And then Kashin Koji is like, Zammai no Shinka. That's how you say it in Japanese. And then he says, regardless of strong winds or heavy rain, the flames of purgatory will never be extinguished. Like those Amaterasu vibes. And then, Konohamaru starts burning, right? And this is the big moment. Karma activates. Boruto's seal activates. And, guys, I think about a week ago I did a theory video. And in this theory video, I speculated that, back when Boruto was fighting against Shojoji and when his Rasengan disappeared, I speculated that he accidentally absorbed his own Rasengan. Because, Boruto was already shown accidentally using some powers in the anime when he teleported to Nue, if you remember. I mean, some people say that Nue teleported itself, but no, I think it was Boruto. And my speculation was right. He can actually absorb ninjutsu and jutsu in general. I mean, he absorbed the Fuinjutsu that Kashin Koji, made. And one thing that, stuck out to me was the panel where Kashin Koji says karma, and you can see his eye, and he's legitimately shocked. And, in the last chapter, just before, like the previous one, chapter 22, just before, Kashin Koji killed Ao, there was a panel of Ao looking at Kashin Koji from a distance. And I really commented on that panel in my review. I thought it was beautiful, like the way, the facial expression was done. But this, and if you think about it, like props to Ikemura, because Kashin Koji has a mask over him. And, you had to draw this eye really well in order for us readers to feel some sort of tension. And Ikemura did it. I mean, his art style is improving in every fucking chapter. And anyway, Kashin Koji is surprised. And this dude's savagery level is around Madara's level. So when you see characters like Kashin Koji legitimately getting surprised, that means that, this is the real shit. And, when I was reading the chapter, I mean, obviously I saw, a lot of screenshots before the English chapter got out. But normally I would think that, maybe we were going to see some part of his seal, and I'm going to call it karma right now. But no, actually the entire thing activated, but the Jogen did not activate. That was crazy. Obviously he saves Konohamaru basically from dying. And, after that, Kashin Koji says this very interesting thing. He's like, by no means did I expect to witness the karma here. It feels as if he already saw karma somewhere else. I mean, obviously we're going to get into the Kawaki stuff later. But, he has knowledge about these seals. And obviously, Uzumaki clan seals and all that. I'm not going to get into that right now. But this seal, supposedly you get it from killing a god. And, Kashin Koji knows about this, which furthermore proves my, theory, I guess, that, Kara has a lot of info about the OTSUTSUKI clan. And the old guy that was killed by Kashin Koji a couple of chapters ago, when he mentioned Momoshiki, he was like, that fool Momoshiki or something like that. For me, it felt like they knew about Momoshiki. I remember somebody in my comment section said, well, after Momoshiki was defeated, you probably had those news everywhere on every single TV, which is true. But still, I feel as though Kara already knew about Momoshiki. And then, anyway, going back to Kashin Koji, he's like, I had always thought that it was Uzumaki Naruto who defeated Momoshiki. But actually it was Boruto. And it's like, how does this dude know this? It's crazy. I mean, in the anime, currently the latest episode is episode 55. When Urashiki was talking to Momoshiki and Kinshiki about, he was telling them about the information regarding Jinchurikis, Kage and all that. I commented in my review how, Urashiki could potentially be connected to the Kara, because somebody would have to tell him the info about the real world. Yes, he could, I guess, watch the Earth. I don't know how, but I guess he could. But he's not going to do it for thousands of years without stopping, right? And here we have what seems like a human being knowing stuff about the OTSUTSUKI clan, which potentially, like, I'm making a theory right now, like, if Urashiki is indeed working with the Kara, maybe he told them about the seals or something like that, because obviously, I mean, Kashin Koji knows the name of this seal, and this is something you get from an OTSUTSUKI member. It was heavily implied in Boruto chapter 10, when Boruto killed Momoshiki. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm really, really confused. And I'm looking at the panels right now. Obviously Boruto fainted after using the seal. It's a typical cliche thing in anime. In shonen anime, the protagonist gets a new power, and when he uses it for the first time, he loses all his energy after, using it, because it's the first time until he masters it. That was like really nice to see. And I really like this little moment where, Sarah jumps to protect Boruto, and she stands with the kunai in front of Kashin Koji. Like, she literally witnessed how strong he is, but she wasn't afraid to go there and try to protect him. And Kashin Koji, he literally doesn't give a fuck about Sarah. He's like, I see, seems like it's the first time Boruto used this power. And, that panel from before that I was referring to, Kashin Koji's eye, he was, I guess, shocked. He didn't expect it. But he doesn't seem scared because of it or anything like that. He sees it as a regular thing almost. And it's like, I don't know what to say. This dude, I mean, even at the start of the chapter, well, I don't know if it was the start of the chapter, but at one point in this chapter, he mentioned Ao, and he was like literally he didn't literally say thank you for killing Ao, but there was this line he made. I'm sure you guys read the chapter, and it almost felt like he was thankful to Team 7 for killing Ao. And like this dude killed the old guy who was in the Ka organization, and he's glad for the fact that Ao is dead. I mean, he killed him technically, but because of everything that happened between Ao and Team 7, right? And anyway, going back to Kashin Koji and the seal, right, that he knows about, he was like, thank you for showing me such an interesting thing. I suppose that I'll be retreating for now. And we're talking about an OTSUTSUKI seal. Boruto literally has the power to absorb jutsu. If he masters this, he's automatically one of the strongest ninjas ever. Like, do you guys realize the scale of this? I mean, Momoshiki had this ability to absorb jutsu, and now Boruto has it. Now, we don't know if he's able to use the jutsus that he absorbed, but regardless, like, that's an OP ability. Anyway, it's funny because Kashin Koji refers to it as an interesting thing. Honestly, the character writing of Kashin Koji, like the mysterious tone around his character so far, it's written really well. Props to Kodachi, Kishimoto, and Ikemoto. Ikemoto, like FYI, if you guys don't know, Kishimoto supervises the series, Kodachi is the writer, and Ikemoto draws. So, yeah. And anyway, yeah, on the next page, Kashin Koji says, since Ao is dead, you have my gratitude. That's what I was referring to. Anyway, at this point, Sarada, she didn't get like a mental breakdown, but she got pissed and she wanted to stop Kashin Koji. She wanted to ask him about the jutsu, about Boruto's power. And, Mitsuki stops Sarada. And this moment, guys, Kashin Koji says, how wise, as expected of Orochimaru's child. Now, how do I see this sentence as expected of Orochimaru's child? I don't, like, for a moment, when I was reading the chapter, it felt as if Kashin Koji knows Orochimaru in person, but maybe he just has a lot of information. And I mean, this would furthermore support the Jiraiya theory, because obviously Jiraiya knew Orochimaru really well. But I still think that it's just the fact that Kashin Koji has a lot of information, because of Kara and everything like that. And if he's really working with Urashiki, would explain, like, they're mutually explaining everything to each other. I mean, my theory is that Kawaki killed Urashiki to gain his seal. So at this point, I think Urashiki is dead. But anyway, like, when he said Orochimaru's child so casually, like, I was really confused. And I wanted to see Mitsuki's reaction to it. We didn't really get it. Like, if I was the mangaka, I would, draw at least one panel of it. But, I mean, that's just, something that I wanted to see. And anyway, Kashin Koji leaves. And keep in mind, when Konohamaru entered the blimp and when he extracted the information from the box that contained the vessel, Ao was looking for them just because of those information and because of the vessel, obviously. Which, I mean, Team 7 doesn't know where the vessel is. But anyway, Kashin Koji was there in the shadows observing everything. And he knows that they have this information, right? Which could reveal some secrets about the vessel if it gets to Konoha, right? But no, he leaves them. Now, you could argue that, the scroll where Konohamaru kept the info got burned during that jutsu, like when Kashin Koji did the jutsu, right? The flames and all that. But I don't think that's the case. And if that was the case, I think Ikemoto would draw it properly so that we could see that, hey, there's no info about the vessel or whatever anymore. But anyway, Kashin Koji leaves, which clearly shows that this man has some unique goals. Obviously, he's in the Kara, but as I said, he does have some goals that he probably puts before Kara. I don't know, guys. I'm so excited about Kashin Koji. Like, I'm literally happy reading these panels. The tension and the atmosphere, the mysteries, the questions. I'm loving it, I must admit. Especially when you take into consideration that the anime first 49 episodes, you had this slight tone that was slightly getting darker. Episode 50, the recap episode, and episode 51, you have the shift of the tone, right? And especially now the things in the and the manga. Like the tone is gradually becoming more and more dark. It's like really, really good writing, really good, excuse me, really good storytelling, and I'm really, really enjoying it. When Kashikonji leaves, Team 7 goes back, I guess. They see these ninja puppets, robots, whatever, and they were completely destroyed. We all know that Team 7 struggled against them. And somebody in the chapter, I think it was Konohamaru, he was like, somebody strong had to do this, right? And ladies and gentlemen, let me just, I need to watch, I need to see the panel while talking. Team 7 sees Kawaki. Yo, Team 7 sees Kawaki on the ground, guys. I can't believe. I just can't believe. This dude appears in the first chapter, right? As this man who supposedly killed Naruto, destroyed the Hidden Leaf Village or whatever. He gets introduced in a very cheeky way. He's not even conscious. He's knocked out, tired or whatever. And oh my god, the goosebumps I got when I saw this. Not only because it's Kawaki. I would get goosebumps anyway because it's fucking Kawaki. We've been waiting for this dude for such a long time. But the way this scene was done, not to mention that Kawaki has number 9, the Roman numeral, right? Number 9 on his face. And I thought that they were like, I didn't know that there were so many Kara members. I mean, this implies that he's a Kara member because we went back, many chapters ago. Well, not many chapters ago, but when Kara was introduced, we had the girl with the dojutsu. She had number 1. I still think Kashinkoji has number 2 because these two lines could like represent number 2. We had that older guy with number 3. Jigen obviously has number 4. The old guy that was killed by Kashinkoji, I suppose he was killed, he had number 5. And they were mentioning this guy called Amado. And there was another guy in the background. Like, we never saw him. There was a popular theory in the fandom that he was actually Kawaki. So I thought maybe, 7 members max. But now we see number 9 on Kawaki's face, which implies that there's a number 8. Holy shit, this gives me a fucking boner. Guys, Boruto at the moment, yo. Like, yo. Anyway, again, when we saw Kawaki's face, while he was sleeping, I guess, it's like, it's a really, really nice panel, right? It's a really, really beautiful panel. Like, I need to say congratulations to Ikemura for improving this much. And anyway, as Boruto approaches Kawaki, he looks at his hand and he sees a seal. And then he's like, this guy has the same seal as me? It's like a question mark. I don't know if Kawaki also has the karma. I mean, the starting of the seal looks like literally the same as Boruto's. But, like, I don't even know what to say. What's funny to me, like a short preview for the next chapter, it says, what's the true identity of the mysterious boy? Like, come on, who is it? I'm really curious. Who's this boy, that has a piercing over his right eye? I think we see a character in the first chapter also with a piercing over his right eye. I really wonder who this character is. Anyway, it says, what's the true identity of the mysterious boy? And obviously next chapter comes out in June. Holy shit, bro, 1 month. I can't do this. Anyway, this introduction of Kawaki, I really like it. I had, like, when I was thinking about his introduction, like, a million times I thought about it. I had something else in mind. I didn't expect this. I was surprised, but in a positive way, because I really, really liked his introduction. And it says here, Kashinkoji Rasengan, Karma, the vessel, and now 3 dots that contains, like, blah, blah, blah. Literally, I was talking to somebody and I said, the Boruto manga is the definition of a cliffhanger. Yes, all anime/manga have cliffhangers, but the Boruto manga does it on a whole new level. Every fucking chapter ends on a massive cliffhanger. Guys, apart from all the great things in this chapter, such as, a bit more info about Kashinkoji, his abilities, Konohamaru, getting a great moment, releasing the seal, Boruto protecting Konohamaru, Sarada's attitude, wanting to protect Boruto, Mitsuki's great decision making, which I think, Kashinkoji even mentioned. You have these great moments, right, which contributes to the rating that I'm gonna give. But for a long time, which doesn't mean that the previous chapters were bad, but I can't remember feeling the tone of the chapter this well. I don't know how to explain it, but there's just something about this chapter that I don't know how to put into words, which made me enjoy this chapter a lot. I read it 2 times, and I was genuinely happy reading, because this series means a lot to me. I mean, look at my t-shirt, 10 out of 10. I think, well, I don't think, I know, this is my favorite chapter so far of the entire Boruto manga. And, you know, I think that, you know, before this chapter, my favorite chapter was chapter 22, which was the previous one, I think. Because, you know, I usually have to think about these things for a little bit. But I don't know, man. Who's gonna wait 30 days more? Who's gonna wait for a fucking month? Yo. I'm loving the Boruto manga. The direction that this series is taking is just out of this world, guys. It's out of this world. I'm gonna make a couple of more videos about, you know, a couple of things that happen in this chapter, because there's a lot to talk about. You know, this is an iconic chapter. This goes down as one of the most memorable chapters in the Naruto franchise, because it's the introduction of the big guy, the you know, Kawaki. But apparently, you know, some people don't know it, because it says at the end, what's the true identity of the mysterious boy? So I guess the writers thought that, you know, some of us don't know who this is. Boruto fucking greatness. Twitter and Discord links are in the description below. That was your boy Hokage. If you're new to this channel and if you're into Boruto, consider subscribing. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.